we're back. We're talking to Kelly Brooks from Property Masters, and I can't wait for you to share our audience about your story, how you got started, when, why, how, and also what made you start this business and do what you do now. I want to hear everything that you want to share about your beginnings.
Thanks, Adriana. So next year, now let me get this straight in my brain. In 2024, we will have had the business going for 20 years. Cannot believe it. We are going to do a big blowout celebration for our 20th year next year. So my business partner and I actually started the business while I was in college. His mother was a REO agent herself, REO agent and relocation specialist. So when Kyle, my business partner, Kyle Cooper, started the business, it was basically doing his mom's properties. And that expanded to other agents in her office. And then Fannie Mae, we heard that they were starting their SAM vendor program. Before they didn't have a national network of contractors. So they put the SAM vendor program into place. And so we came in at the ground floor in 2004. Quickly thereafter, we followed with Freddie Mac. And then we started working with a lot of the bigger banks, Wells Fargo, their PAS program at the time, Chase, SunTrust. And this was pre-housing crisis. So we were already in with these banks and in this niche. And then the 2008 housing crisis hit 3 years later. So we were building, mobilizing, expanding, developing our processes before the inventory went to the maximum that we've seen it, right? So I would work in the business during the day, 8 to 5, cut the checks. I was doing everything at that point: payroll, HR, operations, AP, paying the vendors, managing the vendor network, and dealing with the clients. And then I had a field team, very small. And then I would go to school at night from 6 to 11 every night. And my controller and I, still very good friends, she's my CFO now. She worked in the office next to me. So sometimes if we had to stay up extra to do payroll or cut checks for vendors, one of us would go to school. We were in night school together at our university, and we would help each other with classes. We would take notes so the other one could stay and work. And that's basically how we finished out college, is working all day and then going to school all night. So it was definitely a challenge. Those early days with, some of our largest clients, the banks, were a challenge. I mean, me being a woman in the industry, trying to convince, seasoned home building, construction professionals, the good old boy network, if you will, that exists in Dallas, especially at that time. As I'm a 21-year-old walking around the office, 21-year-old woman in stilettos, trying to convince them that I know what swinging a hammer means. So really, it just took years of me, basically having to put my money where my mouth is, and that really for me is one of my ethics, and one of the threads that we wave throughout our entire company is everything is just becomes so simple when you do what you say you're going to do. Again, putting your money where your mouth is. You say you're going to do something, then do it. If you say something, you're going to make something happen, make it happen. That's where people can trust you and believe in you, and your word becomes Bible. So I really feel like that was kind of one of the mainstays to our success is, obviously me having to convince people to take me seriously as a young woman in construction. But then also, letting them see that they can trust me. I will do what I say I'm going to do.
Wow, Kelly, what an amazing statement you just said. Like, do the work of what your mouth is saying. So I said it a different way. The way how I say it is walk the talk. Yeah. So I'm walking the talking, I'm also not only a broker, but a real estate investor, landlord, developer. And what I'm talking about real estate, what I've been talking for 20 years, I'm also doing it. So I'm so impressed by you. You also walk the talk. And that's so impressive. That's what we need, more leaders that people can trust in the world, in the business world, and that are reliable. And like you're saying, yeah, building that trust is so important for you and your clients. So I want to ask you also to kind of wrap up our show. What are your thoughts about this first quarter with the economy and the default industry and the foreclosures coming up or not, the economy, and with the rest of the year? What do you see happening? Any kind of measurements you guys are taking, or just your take on the economy and this industry in general?
So thank you for that. Obviously, yourself, from being a Freddie Mac and a Fannie Mae agent, they don't give you very much to work with. They really don't know, but I have been shared, they've shared with us some economic data and basically the expectation, and I'm talking specifically about REO here because we obviously had 2 years of stagnation, meaning no new inventory or no new acquisitions in 2020 and 2021 due to the COVID forbearance. So we're just now starting to see those defaults come through that were either in process, in stage prior to COVID, or because the forbearance has been lifted. So really what we've been told is expect the same sort of plateau through 2023. And then in 2024, we're expecting the inventory to return to prior COVID levels. So much like we saw in 2018 and 2019, there's by no indication from either Freddie Mac or Fannie Mae that there's going to be any type of landslide or housing crisis like we saw in 2008 to 2011. That's just not the reality. The fact that people have so much equity in their homes, and a lot of people are already locked in at these lower rates. We're just not going to see, that much of a slippage in value of homes that's going to lead to a massive amount of foreclosures. So we do expect our SFR business to continue to downgrade due to the price of homes. There's not really many deals to be found out there for investors. So really just on the REO side, we're looking for that to remain pretty level through this year and then pick up slightly in 2004 and 5.
Great, thank you. Yeah, I understand that, there's all of that ambiguity about the economy and about if REO levels are coming back or not. But I love what you said about your company, how you grew that organically. And that's what's so strong about your company. You grew organically as clients needed. So your expansions have always been supported by your clients needing you and giving you the business. So I think that's so safe for any business to not just go out there without having the business already secure to support those projects and those people. Thank you so much for everything you shared today. I also want you to share with us a word of encouragement for women, for entrepreneurs, for anybody who wants to follow their passion and their dream. I'm a big believer of the American dream and the dream of home ownership. So I would like you to encourage and give some words of wisdom to our audience and inspiration.
What I would just say is keep an open mind. Your next big move is just one opportunity away. So don't just, keep the doors open. Don't shut any doors because you never know what has the potential to walk through those doors.
The power is now to make your dreams come true and to take all of this knowledge and all of this information and start investing in real estate. Start if you own a home as a first-time home buyer or as an investor, second home, rental property, residential, commercial, the sky's the limit. So for any questions you may have, I walk the talk about real estate and I'm here to advise you with 20 years of experience. My number is 321-689-6258 or my email is adriana@floridadreamsrealty.com. And thank you so much. Please make sure you follow us on social media, on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.